Welcome to an episode of Founder in the Chair. I'm your host Vina, and my guest today has grown up running around a factory in her childhood to actually working in it today. Life has taken this lady full circle and brought her right back to where she started. Was it always meant to be? She started off life in IT and she loved every minute of it, but the universe decided that was not what she was born to do. She has been around fabrics and furnishings all her life, and for the last 22 years, she has been working full-time in the second generation of her family business. Today, she helps her siblings in the family business manufacturing lots of products as well as soft furnishings. But also, more importantly, she uses her knowledge and her know-how to bring the love of bespoke soft furnishings to the many projects she has worked on through her own business called Asraana. Be it helping interior designers with the soft furnishings, part of their projects, or helping house-proud individuals to enhance their living or even commercial spaces. She is so proud that the knowledge she has been a true gift of learning from her parents. One that she is now able to nurture, develop and grow. And I'm so excited to welcome Joti from Asraana. Welcome, Joti.
Thank you, Rina.
So happy to have you here today. We finally got you in.
I know.
So you worked in IT, back to the business, a business that sounds like you were running around in as a child.
Do you know, it was crazy how it's all gone full circle, and I never expected it. So Mum and Dad used to work for somebody back in the day when we were kids. Mum in the holidays would take us to the factory, and we would have a time. We had an au pair actually who looked after us while we were there, but I would run up and down the factory and watch Dad and Mum work and cut and sew. And then when they started their business in 1988, we were older, and we were then, like, Dad would say, can you please come and help us? Because when he started, he didn't have the money to be able to pay loads of overtime to staff.
Okay.
So they'd finish at 5 o'clock and then we'd come home from school, do our homework and everything and have our dinner and then go back to work.
Wow.
And we would work till like 11 o'clock, sometimes making duvets, because that's what we started doing. So we used to do duvets and pillows at that time, and that's where they started their business.
Yeah.
But it was a really seasonal business.
Okay.
And one day, and so that went on for a while, like for many years.
How old were you then?
I was 14, 15 when we started.
Wow.
When Dad started his own business.
Yeah.
But obviously they've always worked in factories, and I was running around them. So I've had fabric around me since tiny.
Yeah.
So they couldn't afford to pay the overtime at the time. And so we'd go back from school, do our homework and then go and help them. Dad used to say, I can't open the factory if the warehouse is empty in the morning.
Yeah.
You have to help me, and we have to do this. And as a family, you just muck in. I was the eldest of the four siblings. We are four siblings.
Yeah.
And I was the eldest of them. And
so did you all go in and help?
No, it was me and my sister younger than me.
Okay.
Because the other two were a lot younger.
Right.
At the time, I mean, they'd come and run around the factory, but
Yeah.
physically,
Yeah.
Dad and Mum and myself and my sister, we would be the ones that were doing the work.
Okay.
And it wasn't every day, but a lot of the times we used to go in and do that.
So at 14 you could sew?
Yeah.
Wow, it's like on one of those big industrial machines. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, health and safety these days wouldn't even allow you, but back in the day.
But Mum and Dad taught us all of that, and Dad used to, when he was cutting the lay of of everything, and he'd show us, he'd come and stand there and cut this with me, and I would go, oh Dad, man, I don't want to do this,
as
and
we do as teenagers.
I've got homework to do, and he'd say, no, you've got to do this is how you learn. And I'd go, all right, Dad. But life took me full circle. I didn't really realise how much I absorbed as a child, running around a factory, then cutting things with them and helping them sew and helping them do things. You really don't realise how much you absorb. So when it came to my turn to come into the business, I almost knew what I was doing.
It's amazing, because you hadn't run a business up until now, because you were working for someone.
Yeah. So when I was in IT, so Dad never put pressure on us to go into the family business. That was one thing.
Yeah.
He never said to us, "This is what I want you to do," ever.
Yeah.
So I went off to uni, I did my thing, and then I got a job in IT.
Yeah.
I loved it. I worked in IT for 10 years and I thrived. I loved it, absolutely did. And I, unfortunately, when I had my child, I developed arthritis.
Oh.
I didn't know. I mean, I was absolutely fine before I had him. And as soon as I had him, I could feel I had a lot of pain in my feet, in my hands. And he was 4.5 when I was diagnosed. No, he was 2.5 when I was diagnosed, 4.5 when I actually told the family. Another story for another day. But it was really tough. I had a really, really tough few years. And they knew at work because I had to tell them. It was difficult to get up in the mornings. It was so difficult to get to work. And sometimes by the time I used to get to work, I'd be in tears, literally in tears, because I was in so much pain. But there was like a whole floor of like 200 salespeople. And I would literally wipe my tears and walk through the floor and biggest smile on my face and,
leave
hi,
your problems
how you
at
doing?
the door.
Yeah, hi, how are you doing? And just get on my work.
Yeah.
And then it went on for a while, but it couldn't go on forever.
Yeah.
And like sometimes, like something knocks on your door and says, you've got to make changes here. And I feel that pain was my knock on the door. You've got to make changes. But I was thriving where I was and I didn't even want to make any changes. And I was like, no, this is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life. And
you enjoyed it.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, But, the pain got worse. Another knock on the door. Come on, things have to change. And I was
Sometimes
like,
you literally need a slap around your face.
And that's exactly what came. So one day I literally was in so much pain. Like literally head to toe. I mean, I had arthritis in my jaws and all the way down to my feet.
Really?
Like it was awful.
How did you manage it? Like with painkillers?
I was on a lot of medication.
Right.
But, there comes a point where medication stops working for you and then you have to change to different medication. And until that then kicks in. But it almost was at that point that medication I was on stopped working for me. They couldn't find one that would work for me. And it was I was just in a downward spiral at that time. And I had a great manager. He was so, so good at the time. And he literally, it was lunchtime and I didn't want to go to lunch with anybody. I was in that much pain. I didn't want to talk to anybody that day. And he literally walked past me and he went, "You all right?" I went, "No." And I just burst out crying. And he said, "What's wrong?" And I said, "I'm in so much pain. I don't know what to do." He said, "What are you doing here? You have to go and get help." And I said, "I haven't got time to help. I've got this meeting and that meeting. I've got to see this person and that person." He said, "I'm going to take care of everything. You have to go home and get some help." And he literally put all my things in my bag and took my laptop, put it in my bag. He took me down to my car, closed my door and let me go home. And he said, "I'll come and see you, but go and get yourself some help and you've got to get better." I never went back to work. I never went back to work. That was
the moment he closed that car door on you.
That changed my life.
So what happened?
So then I got really down. I got really depressed because the pain was so much at the time. And my dad also had arthritis and he really knew what I was going through, but he didn't say to me like, "Oh, this is what you've got to do and this is what you've got to do." He didn't dictate to me what I have to do to get better, kind of a thing, because everyone's journey is different. So he said to me, "All right, Joti, can you do me a favour? Can you make me my website?" And I was like, "All right, Dad, your website?" He said, "Yeah." And this is like, I'm talking over 20 years ago. So he didn't have a website at the time.
Yeah.
"Make me my website," he said. And I was like, "Oh, okay, Dad, I'll make a website for you." And that's where it started. I made a website for him and very simple. And then we inquiries started trickling in. And I was like, "Dad, somebody's asking this and somebody's asking that." And he said, "Don't answer them then." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And that's the point I realised how much I absorbed as a child, because I would answer the questions, answer the queries, and I'd go, "Dad, this is what I was saying," or "Mum, this is what I said, and this is what they asked for, this is what I've said." And they've gone, "Yeah, you're right." yeah, that's right. Or they'll tweak it and say, all right, that's right. But if you had done this one this way, it would have been, you know. And I was like, okay. And so I literally learned as I went along.
Yeah.
I realised how much I knew. Yeah. God, how much I knew of fabrics, how much I knew of pattern repeats, how much I knew of, you know, what's what. Like, oh my God, like I had no idea. And I think when you don't vocalise anything, you don't know how much you know, right? And you make it then becomes real for yourself as well. So slowly, those inquiries started getting more and more and more.
The website was working.
Yeah. And as those inquiries started, so I would work 10 minutes a day or 20 minutes a day when I can over the pain. Yeah. If I could work half an hour, do whatever was required of me. Yeah. I couldn't do full time. And I was very sporadic. Okay. Because I obviously had to look after my health. I had a 4-year-old at the time. Yeah. And I had to look after him. Yeah. So I would just dip in and out of it as I needed and as people were making inquiries. Mm-hmm. But what actually happened was, as my pain started getting under control and my pain started coming down, the inquiries started getting more and more. So I was starting to work more and more in the business. Brilliant. Until literally it went like this and I was working in the business full time. And I absolutely loved it. I learned so much from mum and dad all the time. Yeah. Used to go in and out still go in and out of the factory all the time. And that's really where my journey back into the business, that's how it happened. So it was almost like it was meant to be. It was like, you know, the pain that was knocking on my door saying, you're not supposed to be in IT, mate. You've got to go somewhere else. There's more things out there for you, bigger, better, more exciting things for you. And I was just ignoring it until that time when I was sent home from work. And I was just like, it was just, that's what you've got to do now.
You had to do something. Your dad gave you the opportunity.
And it's like he saved me. I always feel that he saved me from deep depression, because when you're 1 minute thriving and in work and all of a sudden you've got nothing, your income's gone, everything's gone, it's a big bang. Yeah. It's like and more than that, you've lost your will to live, because
that was your identity and you got a paycheck at the end of the month.
Absolutely.
So would you say everything you learned in sales, because you said you were very good at sales, you use it now in your business?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so you needed that skill as well.
Exactly.
And the IT to make the website.
That's it. And also, like, you know, things that I used to do there, you know, all the spreadsheets I used to use, working out product costs and things like that, I still use them today. So, you know, it's really been it's all sort of come together for me. And that's how I sort of grew, and I've learned so much from mum and dad. Even over these last 20 years, I've learned so much. And unfortunately, we lost dad 13 years ago.
Sorry.
Mum's retired now. Thank you. Mum's retired now, and but she still comes in and out of the business, you know, and it's great for her. Yeah. And for me, it's lovely. So when I go down, generally she comes in because I just love to be around her. And it's good for the team. You know, we've had a team since, a lot of them were there since dad was there. So they're like a part of the family.
Business.
It's literally not just us as siblings. It's, you know, the team are a family. It's lovely.
And do your siblings work in the business too?
I've got 2 of my siblings. Only one sister doesn't work in the family business. Yeah.
And so it's you who runs everything now?
No, and in the family business?
Yeah.
No, it's me, my sister and my brother. We run that business together. Okay. And I do work in that business almost full time as well. But then I've also got my own business.
Oh, what's that?
So I think it was about, for many years, my mum used to say to me, Joti, you know, you work so hard and you help so many people, because in the family business, we also do a lot of work with small businesses. Right. So if they want to develop things, and then we'll develop it from a product to develop it to make prototypes, sampling, and then we'd take it to market. Yeah. So we've done loads of pet products and lots of cushions and lots of things, and we've sold them to high-end retail, to lots and lots of places, and worked with loads of designers. So I do all of that in the back in that business. So Mum says, you know what, Joti, you've worked so hard for everybody. Like, you know, you've grown so many businesses. I haven't grown them, but I've helped grow so many businesses.
Well, it's that initial thing they need, isn't it, to grow the business?
Right. So you've got an idea, but without a product, it's, so I've, helped how to develop that product, what to do, what not to do, how it works in manufacturing, basically. And then she said, you've got to do something for yourself. And I'm like, Mum, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what I've got to do. Like, I really don't know. And so she said, Joti, you know what you've got to do? You've got to think about what is it that you love? What is it that you love? And it will come to you. So, it took me a good few months to think about it. Do I want to do something for myself first? It's scary going out there by yourself. Yeah. I always feel in the family business, I've got the support of the team. I've got the support of my siblings. I've got my mum. And you've just
known it for so long.
Yeah,
It's comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't grow if you're in your comfort zone.
No, absolutely not.
Isn't it? So I was like, okay, so what am I going to do? So I have all the things that we do in the family business. I didn't want to leave them almost in the lurch and just say, I'm going off to do my own thing. I wanted to do something that would incorporate them or grow that business as well as mine. And I thought, well, if I do something that they can make for me in the family business, then it's a win-win situation for both of us.
Yeah, great idea.
So what I did is I thought, out of everything that we make over there, I love the soft furnishings the most.
Okay.
That is what lights me up.
Yeah.
Why the change that soft furnishings make into anyone's environment, whether it's a commercial or a home.
Yeah.
How, putting a throw on a sofa, putting some cushions on there, changing the curtains, how it lifts that room and how it makes people feel every time they walk in is what lights me up. So I was like, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to concentrate on. So I knew that's what I wanted to do, but what was I going to call the business? So years ago when I had a conversation with Dad, which is something I forgot actually in the beginning, when we used to do duvets and pillows, it was a very seasonal business, really seasonal. And Dad used to, one summer, I phoned him, Dad, how you doing? What you doing? And he said, what am I going to do? I'm twiddling my thumbs. No one's going to buy duvets from me in the summer. And I was like, oh, Dad, don't be like that. Why don't we make cushions? And he was like, cushions? Who's going to buy cushions from me? And I'm like, Dad, it's just a different shaped pillow. And he was like, oh, all right then. Well, you bring me your orders then for cushions and I'll make your cushions. And I was like, okay. And Veena, I didn't think about it.
Is this once you'd left your job?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
this
right.
is when after I had done the website and that was all established and stuff. So when I was working full time in their business.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. And I think because I knew I had Mum and Dad in the background, I really didn't think anything of it. I really didn't have that fear at all. And I just, at that time, Google Ads wasn't the minefield it is now. So I literally put some Google Ads on and I started getting inquiries. And I was like, oh. And more inquiries came in. And from that, we developed the business from cushions into seating, into pet products, into so many different things that we do over there now. And and it was just a random conversation. Dad, why don't we do cushions? And honestly, it wasn't anything I had planned. It wasn't anything I had thought of. It didn't even occur. It wasn't even a thought that had occurred to me saying, oh, well, I'll talk to Dad about it. Nothing. It was just came out in conversation. And when my mum said to me, Joti, you've got to do something for yourself. And I was like, okay, this soft furnishings is what lights me up, so I'm going to do soft furnishings. And again, we're back into cushions.
Even your eyes are lighting up when you're talking about it.
So I've come back into cushions, isn't it? And I was like, oh. So then I was like, okay, so Mum, I don't know what I'm going to call the business. I know I'm going to do soft furnishings now, but I don't know what I'm going to call the business. So she said, okay. She said, think. What do you think? I'll think about something, Mum. And I was literally driving on the M25 and to Mum's house, and I was like, Asraana. And I was like, that's what I'm going to call it. Because I wanted to put something with my dad in it, right? So the AS are my dad's initials, right? So that's a nod to my dad.
Yeah.
But Asraana means pillow.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I was thinking, is that actually what it is?
Yeah, Asraana it means pillow in Punjabi.
It does. It does.
So then I was like, that's where we, I said, Dad, let's make a cushion. It's a different shaped pillow.
Yeah.
So that conversation was where all the soft furnishing started. The change in the business happened.
Now you're saying it, I'm like, yes, Asraana.
Yeah. And I was like, it's got to be Asraana.
Yeah.
So literally when I got to Mum's, my sisters were there and I was like, what do you think about Asraana? And they were going, oh, that's a nice name. What's Asraana? And I went, it's Asraana.
And it's so simple when you actually tell somebody, because I've known that name for ages, but I never thought that's what it is.
Yeah.
It sounds really posh. And,
it does, right? So a lot of people say that to me, isn't it? But that's exactly what it is. The AS are my dad's initials and Asraana means a pillow.
Yeah.
And that's where our life started, making cushions.
Love that.
And yeah, it's just gone round in a circle, really. And so now I help interior designers. In fact, when I started Asraana, it wasn't my thought to help in, I was like, the family business works with trade, and what I will do over here is I will work with individual clients and make things for them, soft furnishings for them, cushions, curtains, blinds, everything. And everything will be made at the family business. So I'll be in control of all the production as well. And that every sale for me over here is a sale for them over there. So I'm growing both businesses at the same time. And so Brilliant. That was my thing, I'm helping everybody along the journey. I'm not leaving anybody in the lurch. I'm doing the best I can for both businesses.
Yeah.
All at the same time.
Yeah.
And as I was doing it, I had interior designers started reaching out to me and they said, can you help me? And I'm like, pardon? Like, I didn't get it, because in the family business, all the interior designers we've ever worked for were big companies.
Right.
And there were teams of people in these interior design companies.
Yeah.
And I've been working with them for so many years. And I thought interior designers were just big companies.
Yeah.
I had no idea that there's interior designers who are individuals like me and you, who would look after the whole project. And actually, then it's so difficult to know and navigate every single part of that project.
Yeah.
And when it comes to soft furnishings, they would give their kitchen business to a kitchen person, a bathroom business to a bathroom person, and wardrobes to, somebody who makes wardrobes, but never knew that there was somebody who specialises in just soft furnishings. And so when they started reaching out to me, I was like, oh my God, like I never knew that there were individual interior designers, and a whole new world opened up to me. And I was like, wow. And then as I started working with them, they became my best friends. I started we started communities together, groups together. It was just so lovely.
Yeah.
A friend of mine does a networking group just for interior designers, and and being part of that has just been amazing.
Yeah.
And it's literally so good because they're so creative.
Yes.
And I'm so creative. And so if I've said something, if I say, oh, this is really lovely, this works really well like this. And so they get it. Yeah. Whereas sometimes an individual client wouldn't get it because they can't see past it.
Yeah.
So that working with them has just been amazing for me. And it's just grown my business. I just found my place.
Your tribe.
My home.
With soft furnishings.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's so great. So what's next? Is there more plans to grow the business, or is Asraana going to take any new arms?
Asraana at the moment, what I'm doing with Asraana is as I work with more and more individual projects, I grow with the individual projects. I'm doing a lot more commercial work. I've done hotel, and I've done another commercial environment recently with curtains, and that's helped me grow so much in my knowledge of fire retardant fabrics and all of that, and that's really helped me grow that skill set. So every single project I do with it, I learn and I grow, and it's lovely. My next step with Asraana will be to have my own set of products that I will sell mainly into trade for interior designers, but also for individuals. That's my next step, developing my website again, changing all of that, and then selling product. So that would be my next step. But slow and steady.
So Asraana is just yours, not your siblings,
no,
just you?
Just mine.
And so if someone's listening right now and they are thinking, I'd like to go into something like manufacturing soft furnishings, Any hot tip, any advice you would give them?
It's a real minefield. It's really difficult. Manufacturing is difficult. It really is. And I wouldn't put anybody off of it. But I would say find your niche. You could say, I want to manufacture soft furnishings, but what part of that soft furnishings do you want to do? It could be that you just want to do the curtains. You just want to do the blinds. You just want to do cushions. You just want to do throws. Like it could, if you're starting off, start with a smaller range of products and then slowly build on it.
Yeah.
As a manufacturer, that's what I would say. Find your skill set, because I've got, in the family business, I've got loads of people who make curtains who absolutely don't like making cushions and seating. And they give all of that cushions and seating work to us because it's a different skill you need for that. So, I said find your skill set. Find what you love. Find what you enjoy.
How do you deal with, for example, there's people get things from abroad which are so cheap, or I don't know, furniture that's really cheap now. How does that affect your business? What do you feel about it?
I think there's a market for everything, Veena. And I don't get upset when people say, I can get it cheaper somewhere else, because everything, there's a reason something is a price, right? If you're gonna go to, I don't know, Next or Dunelm, Next Home or Dunelm or something, and buy a cushion, and then you say to me, I don't know what to put it with. You could buy a cushion from a designer. It could be £300 a cushion. It could be any amount per cushion. But then what are you going to put that with? What are you going to put that with that's going to lift that cushion and make that cushion on your sofa be the focal point? Because you can't, if you have just one on your sofa, it's going to look very bland. Whereas you need to have a collection. So the whole thing that I do is provide you with that collection so you don't even have to think about it. Right? But Dunelm aren't going to do that.
No.
Yeah? So do you want to pay me to do that for you? Or do you want to, it's your time, isn't it? Going from one place to the other. Does that look right? Doesn't that look right? And then the other thing is, it's the knowledge, right? So you could get something from one place and it's got a fibre inner in it. You can get something from another place, it's got a feather inner in it. That's all going to sit differently on your cushion, on your sofa. It's not going to blend. Right? You need to have the same inners in your cushions, how they're filled, what they're filled with. Even that makes a difference. So different companies, different places will have different fill weights in their cushions. So when you buy something from me, from Asraana, everything is filled to the same weight. Everything's filled with the same product. And so when you pop them on your sofa, they all flow.
Wow. You wouldn't even think about that. You'd just be like, that one looks nice. And that one from that shop looks nice with that. We're not going to think about what it's filled with and is it going to go together. And you're right. It's then effort trying to find it all, whereas you're going to make sure everything just flows.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant. So if someone's listening, they want to get hold of you, how do they get hold of you?
So you just need to contact me on asraana.uk over...
That's your website?
That's my website.
Okay.
So there's a contact form on there.
Okay.
Sorry, it's asraana.co.uk.
Okay. Spell that, it's
asraana.co.uk.
Perfect.
So there's a contact form on there. You can also DM me on Instagram, and that's the best way to contact me.
Are you on any other platforms apart from Instagram?
At the moment, I'm just on Instagram.
Okay.
I'm working on LinkedIn, but I do it myself. So that is
it's a job.
My next work in progress. Yes, absolutely.
Do you find you actually get work through social media?
I do, actually.
Brilliant.
I do. And it's a lot of word of mouth as well.
Yeah.
And I suppose it's because that's where people get to know you.
Yeah.
But also a lot of word of mouth. People recommend me to other people.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
It's always good to have word of mouth recommendations because that's the best form of marketing, right?
Yeah.
So that's always worked really well for me.
So I see over the years I've met you at networking events and stuff. Do you feel it was important to network, and did that get you business?
The networking has by far been the best form of my marketing, definitely.
Okay.
But the places I've gone to or the networking groups I've gone to, there's been some which have been great for friendships and it have been great for building yourself up.
Your self-development.
That's right. And that's been really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
But I've then joined networking groups which have been more focused on the business. And I think it's nice to have a mix of both.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice to grow your network so people get to know you, and then people recommend you to people.
Yeah.
The amount of people in networking groups got nothing to do with the industry that I'm in. So they've then found somebody, or somebody have said, oh, I want to have some upholstery done, and they've gone, oh, speak to Joti. So I have had recommendations like that. Mm-hmm. But then the networking groups that I've been to, which were very focused on the soft furnishings industry, on the interior design industry, they have by far been the most successful for me.
I love that. So networking works as
well. Absolutely.
Social media even works for you.
Yeah. And it's a mix. It's a good mix, isn't it?
Yeah. And sometimes you do need to go out there, show who you are. And like you said, they might not be in your industry or even need you, but they'll know somebody else that does.
That's it. That's it.
And
also, it's the it's getting out there and getting out of your office. So sometimes, you know, when you're behind your four walls all the time, that can get very mundane. And so getting yourself out makes you feel better as well.
Absolutely, because I hear of people who do 9-to-5 jobs.
Yeah.
And they're, after COVID, obviously, they're just working from home now mostly. Mm. And I think it affects their mental health because they're just cooped up in this office all day and they don't see the outside world.
That's it.
And I don't think that's actually good for you.
No, I don't think so. And I think it's really healthy to get out and talk, right? And that's how that's the way that has promoted my business the most, definitely.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you so much, Joti. And I love the name Asraana and what it actually means now. I'm always going to remember that now. Thank you so much for coming in.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.